I'm sort of asking everybody today, as we look back on season 3, what moment are you most proud of nailing that you weren't sure was maybe gonna? There's always a few of those every season.
The hurricane was a big deal.
Yeah.
That was, we knew that was coming all year long, so it took a lot of planning, a lot of thought. We hadn't worked on ships. We'd never tried to do a storm sequence like that. So, Matt Roberts, who directed it, spent a lot of time thinking about it. We had help from a lot of the crew that had worked on Black Sails and had done similar things. But it was still an enormous undertaking. So from the production on set to the cast to the stunt players to the visual effects and sound, and it was a huge thing. So I was very proud of the way we pulled that off.
Are there particular moments from season 3 that you look back on and you're like, I cannot believe we nailed that? Like you just didn't think it was going to come together?
There were so many, but I have to say the storm sequence at the end I think really came together, because when you're filming those kind of things, there's a lot of visual effects involved, and so sometimes it's hard to kind of imagine as you're doing them, and the final product was so amazing. So that's one of many, and also I think everything in South Africa, I think we're kind of amazed it all worked out the way it did. When you kind of uproot your production to another country, you just never know what to expect, and everything just really fell into place. It was kind of like it was meant to be.
I've been asking everybody sort of the thing you're most proud of looking back on season 3, like, wow, we nailed that, I nailed that, wasn't sure that was going to happen.
I don't know.
There's some moments that are harder than others, obviously, on this show.
Yeah. God, on different time, in the beginning, there was some of the scenes with Tobias that I just loved, and I managed not to hit him with the ashtray, which was one of my biggest fears, but that was a big achievement.
So veteran.
No, but yeah, that stuff is really great. And obviously, I think the reunion with Claire and Jamie, it's one of those things that there was so much expectation about it that I think the way we ended up filming it, I really loved it, and I was quite proud of that. And I don't know, there's just lots of stuff. I mean, South Africa was great, and that part of the storyline was great. I don't know.
I wanted to ask, I've sort of asked everybody else, a season 3 moment that you're proud of nailing that you didn't think was going to happen or were worried maybe it wasn't going to happen?
I truly loved season 3. For me, Jamie's sort of journey from Culloden to the loss of Claire to finding a purpose to live again, for me was like the most enjoyable part. I got to do something slightly different, and he's not himself for like 4 or 5 episodes, and he has many different names, he's many different guises, and to see him find himself and create a life for himself again, and then of course Claire comes back in his life and just destroys everything. But it's personally it was a nice acting challenge.
What are you most proud of having nailed, but you didn't know if you were going to nail it or not in season 3? Ron said, for him, it was the storm. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, we worked on the storm for a while, yes. And
Matt directed this episode.
And getting that right was important. But, oddly enough, I think the scenes immediately before and after the storms were more important to me, is the shaving scene, as we called it, and then when they land in America. I wanted those to really resonate, because to me that's the most important part of Outlander anyway, is those two in a room doing what they do best. So
Yeah. I think we were hopeful that we could get all of the ending of the book. People would read the book and say, how are you going to do the finale? The end of the book is crazy. There's voodoo, there's a hurricane, there's all this crazy stuff, and we just kind of tiptoed up to it, and we're like, stayed calm, and we're like, we're getting it all in. So we really looked at it as a kind of a 3-part storytelling, where the first chunk is, Claire and Galus sort of doing that cat and mouse reunite and at each other, and then we had the voodoo section, and then we had the hurricane. And so tackling it all and getting it all in was amazing, but we really had fun writing it. It was our most fun writing, I think, and Matt did a beautiful job of directing it, and so we're real proud of it.